Hold up.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Fox298 here, and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on my channel. Today we're back with another F1 2016 career mode video for you guys today here on my channel. And as you can see, it is round 9 of the season, and we are here at Austria. And this is the new R&D development system. You can see we've got extra drag on the car. So we have got minus 2.4% of drag, which is going to be useful because we're around Austria, which is a power track. And as you can see, the rivalry between me and Nico Rosberg has now reset because Rosberg beat us again in the rivalry. And you can see we are still the 4th fastest car, and we're looking to chase down Red Bull. If you do enjoy this video, drop a like on it. That'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you're new around here. And yeah, we're going to get into this laptop now. We're going to move on into the practice sessions, see how we can get on around what is going to be a high-speed circuit of Austria. So it's going to be difficult for us to really maximize our car because, of course, the Honda engine is not a good engine whatsoever. It's one of the slowest engines on the field, and we have got to try and compensate with that with the lack of straight line speed that we have. So as you can see, we're just going for everything now. So this is where we stand currently in the Drivers' Championship, just behind the 2 Red Bulls and the Ferraris and the Mercedes. And in the Constructors' Championship, we are sitting comfortably in P4. Definitely on a battle with Williams there. There is everything trophy-wise. So we've only got the 2 podiums, which came in Bahrain and in China. So we're definitely going to be looking to try and get some more podiums in the future. We move on into the practice session, though, for the Austrian Grand Prix. And we're doing the track accumulation test. And as you can see, we are currently gone purple absolutely everywhere. We come through the final corner, we nail the apex, and we do a full purple lap. Probably the first time I've done a full purple lap around a circuit, but we absolutely nail that one. And then we move on into the tyre wear test, and I did this on the super soft tyres. I decided to give it a go, and I was in the groove in this track, and we come straight through there, picking up all the resource points for the tyre wear test. So absolutely fantastic, definitely what we wanted. And then we move on into the qualifying simulation run, running the ultra soft tyres, and as we come through the second to last corner, down into the final corner, DRS is going to be activated. You can see we're way up on the delta time because we are definitely quicker than that. There we go, there is the session complete. We go fastest, but of course everyone else didn't run the ultra soft tyres, and then we decided to just take a wide line into turn 1. But that's going to be it for the practice sessions. Nothing else to report there. A very simple practice session. So we're going to have a look at the resource points now. You can see we stack up. We've got maximum resource points from the R&D practice sessions. So that's awesome. And as you can see, we've got a maximum total there of 223 resource points, which is going to be absolutely awesome. And now Emma is going to jump on the phone to us, and she's going to give us a cheeky little sex call. No, she's not. She's just going to tell us what we've got to do in this race or for qualifying. So there are the qualifying goals there. Of course, the one that we're probably not going to do is beat Nico Rosberg. That's probably the most impossible one we could have ever thought of. But for now, we're going to get into the qualifying session. So as you can see, we are here with our person just chilling in the garage. And we're now going to get our iPad out, see what we can do, and change some setups around. And let's see if it works to our advantage. So you can see there's the downforce I went with. I decided to just test a couple of things out. I wanted to try and get as much straight line speed as possible. The wing setup that I actually went for was probably the wrong idea. I definitely had a lot of straight line speed, but I definitely screwed up the setup, as you can see. I actually go back over to the setup, and I think I do change the setup again. So we have a look at everything. Don't take my setups for granted. I'm just trying to take the default setups and then sort of adapt them into my own setup there. But I think the only thing I actually do is change the fuel. So I think I ran like 4.3 or 4.2 wings. Don't run 4.3 or 4.2 wings. It's not the best idea, but I gave myself maximum straight line speed, but we definitely struggled in the middle sector. We're coming now down towards the second to last corner. This is in Q1, struggling to try and get out of Q1, but we are way up on our delta time. I can't really see how much that actually says. But we come across the line now, and there you are. We managed to qualify in 11th place, and that's going to get us comfortably into the second part of qualifying. You can see it there, qualifying on the ultra soft tyres. Only a few runners qualified on the super soft tyres, so they've got a spare set of the ultra soft tyres that they can use in the race. And they'll definitely want to be using those. So again, we are in the garage, and now we're coming towards what is our Q2 lap time. And again, it's not going well in Q2 for us. We're up on the delta time, but we need to try and find some more pace. We come through the second to last corner, bit of understeer a bit. We come through the final corner, take a very tight curb in there. Probably took that final corner a bit too badly. And as we come across the line, we stay in 16th place. We do not improve on our lap time, and that's where we're going to stay. A shocking qualifying for us. Jensen, I believe, did not make it through. No, he didn't make it through. He qualified in the 11th position, but the downforce setups that I ran, which helped me in the straight line, definitely halted my pace in the middle sector, meaning that it was just useless, and I was never going to be able to regain the gap that I had back. And we're going through then. So these are the resource points that we've got here. Just going through them all. 10 resource points. This is just a couple of qualifying points. Definitely did not get enough resource points there. Only 45, which is pretty annoying. And as we look at the rivalry update, you can see there Rosberg winning in every single segment, and we lose 2 points in the driver position, which is annoying. And now we're going to listen from Emma. She's going to give us some session goals for the race that we're going to have to try and beat, and they're going to be difficult ones. It's going to be go in the championship points, beat Button, beat Rosberg, and then get to the position that they want. But without further ado, let's get into the race of the Austrian Grand Prix.
What a beautiful backdrop to a motor race. We're here in the Styrian Mountains, of course, and they've watched over some cracking races throughout the history of this Grand Prix. Controversy, of course, think back to 2002, but also great joy. Do you remember Niki Lauda's historic home victory in 1984? The Red Bull Ring then, 700 metres above sea level. This tough circuit may only have 9 corners, but they're fast and they're bumpy. It's a true test for any racing driver. We have 2 DRS zones, and watch out for overtakes into turn 2 as the uphill entry helps those trying to be the last of the late breakers steam up the inside. Anthony Davidson joins me to talk you through the action here today at what is quite an unusual racetrack, wouldn't you say, Ant?
Yeah, it's quite an odd layout around here. The thing about Austria is that it's a harder circuit to master than what really meets the eye. On top of that, it's a low grip surface, and that means that your small mistakes end up being punished, and it's very easy to slide wide into the runoff area and lose a huge chunk of time. Luckily, because it's such a short circuit though, you have plenty of opportunities to perfect the lap.
We need you to put in a good performance today. Let's show the team that you deserve that #1 seat.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. Nico Rosberg will start his silver arrow from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Ricciardo, Valtteri Bottas, and Vettel, Raikkonen, Perez, Gutierrez, and Jensen Button, Kvyat, Grosjean, Carlos Sainz, and Massa, Haryanto, and a McLaren, Nico Hülkenberg, and Pascal Wehrlein. Ericsson and Nasser, Kevin Magnussen, and Jolyon Palmer rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright then, so as you can see, we are now on the track ready for this event, and as you can see, the engineers have decided that they think the best strategy for me to run is the super soft tyres and then the ultra soft tyres. But now if we go back to the previous Grand Prix in Baku, we ran the prime tyres and then we ran the option tyres, and it definitely did not work out for us one bit. We definitely struggled in doing that. So what we actually did, I think, is we changed it. Yeah, we did. I'm not sure if we changed it or not, but we were going for the strategy. But basically, when I ran the super soft tyres, the prime tyres in the previous event, you saw my pace was good in the first couple of laps, but then when the other drivers pitted for their pit stops, that's when I became the slowest car on the grid, and that's why I only finished 9th. It was a strategical error by myself. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to just stick to this strategy here of the super soft tyres and then the ultra soft tyres to the end of the race. Hopefully then we can change it up a little bit for the actual Grand Prix. So we're going to go on the formation lap though, and as you can see there, it's just in a lonely 16th place, a position I definitely did not want to be in come the start of this weekend. But it's of course it is a power circuit, it's going to be affecting our McLaren, but we definitely got the setup wrong for the weekend, which was a definite problem. I knew that straight away, that I found out in the game that basically if you run 3 wings, 1, 2 or 3 wings in a Formula 1 race this time, compared to 2015 you could run that. This year you can't run it, so Definitely a mistake for us, but we've got 3 red lights, 4, now 5 red lights for the Austrian Grand Prix, and it is lights out and away we go for the Austrian Grand Prix. A decent start by us. We get into the slipstream of Felipe Massa straight away, but we decide that we want to stick to the inside. Jensen Button, my teammate, making some moves. We make a late braking move down to turn 1. Little tap with Grosjean, nothing too big though, and then there is contact there. And apparently I got a collision for Grosjean. That's probably from when we touched our front wing to rear wing, but we are now up into 12th position. Jensen Button in front of us. He's going to try and make a darting move, but we make a late braking move down the inside of Button and Kvyat, and we decide to try and go on Gutierrez. Gutierrez has got better traction though coming out of the corner, but we decide to stick in the slipstream of Esteban Gutierrez coming down this long straight. Again, the McLaren has been set up for straight line speed, so we should get Gutierrez. We're going to outbrake him down into turn 3. A great move from us. We run a little wide. We give Gutierrez the space, but he decides to back out of it and thinks better of it. Now we've got Sergio Perez up in front of us. He's on the ultra soft tyres, so we definitely want to be trying to make some inroads on the gap between me and Sergio Perez. So we come now down towards this difficult section. You can see how early I'm having to turn the car into the corners because I know there's understeer in this car, and I needed to counter that throughout the race. You can see we've got a little bit of damage to the front wing. That was from the contact with Gutierrez. Breaking down to turn 8 now, you can see Perez just in front of us, and then down into turn 9. We again close on Perez, but we went a little bit wide on the exit, and that compromises our traction speed coming out of the final corner. And that's going to be the first lap, so 16th from 9th. Not a bad start whatsoever. But let's have a look at the replay at the start then. So a pretty clean start. I believe Kvyat was the worst of the starters, but you can see Button himself in front. Then there's me coming lunging in into turn 1. Gutierrez comes in, and then he actually taps the rear of my tyre and spins himself around. So a bit of a silly thing there from Gutierrez. He didn't back out of it. He stayed on the outside. He should have just let off the throttle, and he would have lost places, but he wouldn't have lost as many as he has now. But we break down in towards this difficult corner. We gave Grosjean the space. We knew it wasn't there, so we took a lot more of the curb in, which affected our traction coming out of the corner. But we stuck right into the slipstream of Grosjean. You can see Kvyat right behind us. He's not going to be making any inroads on us because he's just simply too far back. We make a late braking move into turn 3 on Grosjean. A very nice one indeed. Actually, a small bit of contact. I didn't think there was contact originally. Maybe that's why Grosjean backed out on the move. I didn't notice there was contact to start with. And then we come through to turn 4 here on the car, and you can see how we've missed the apex there because of the understeer. And you'll just watch now. I think the camera angle changes. No, it doesn't. It just goes to banking. But you can see as we come flicking through 5 and 6. I believe that is 5 and 6, and then this is 7, and then turn 8. I believe it's either 8 or 9 corners. I literally can't remember. But we now come to the final corner. Try and have a look on Perez. But you can see the understeer straight away there, compromising our exit speed. And Perez is safe from danger coming down in towards turn 1, coming up the hill we go. And yeah, that's the first lap. So 16th place we started, and we're up into 5th position, which is not bad. We skip ahead though to lap 3 of the race, and Perez breaks super early going into turn 2. So we decide to try and have a run on him. We get the DRS wide open. Perez, I believe, has DRS as well. I'm just trying to check. Yes, it's Mercedes versus Honda down into turn 3. We make a late braking move on Perez, and a great move from us. That moves us up into 8th place, I believe, for the Grand Prix. But hopefully we can try and make some more positions. You can see we've got Ricciardo, Bottas, Raikkonen, and Vettel all being held up. Of course, Ricciardo being the person holding these 3 up. So we want to start making some inroads. But my engineer decides if I wanted to go for a strategy change, and that was to keep with my ultra soft tyres towards the end of the race, or pit and go onto the soft tyres so we can take those to the end of the race. So we have the choice of going long on the super softs or going in right now and pitting for the soft tyres. And because the strategy was so bad in Baku, I decided, look, I'm up into 7th place. I might as well do the same strategy as the front runners. It's definitely going to be a better option. In Baku, remember, last race, the front runners came in for their pit stops, we stayed out, and we were one of the slowest cars on the circuit, and it didn't work for us. So this time around, we're going to come in the same time as all of these drivers, and we're going to try and go to the end of the race, and we want to stay close between them. But of course we get held up massively in the pit stop there with all the drivers coming past. We don't get taken over by Sergio Perez. I believe that's Ricciardo there, so a lot of people making pit stops, but I definitely thought this is the way to go. If I'm going to stay competitive and stay battling the front runners, I've got to change the strategy, and I've got to pit the same time as the front runners, because if I keep going on those super softs, the likelihood is all these drivers with their fresh soft tyres will definitely catch up to me whilst my tyres are wearing. But we make a late braking move on Valtteri Bottas, who's on the ultra soft tyres, and we give him no room there. Great move from us on Bottas. I believe he stayed out, or is that Felipe Massa? I think that's Massa, actually. I don't think that's Bottas. Yeah, it's Felipe Massa. So he stayed out on his ultra soft tyres for another lap. Yeah, it is Massa. So he's on worn ultra soft tyres. Next on our hit list is Daniel Ricciardo. But you can see going into turn 3, the understeer we've got in the car again. That was my setup problem. So we definitely messed up on the setup. Could have made us a little faster. You can see how much earlier I'm having to turn into the car, which is affecting how fast I can go into the corners, and then it's affecting my acceleration out of the corners, and then the exit speed out of the corners, and the traction. So everything going wrong in the corners, but we just got to stay focused, because Massa, as you can see behind us, is definitely getting quicker on his ultra soft tyres, because of course he is in the Williams, and the Williams is normally a car designed for just pure straight line speed. So we come down now towards the pit straight, and you can see Massa's going to have DRS, so he's going to try and make a move on us, but he doesn't actually make the move stick. So lap 8 of the Grand Prix now, Massa makes a move, we go down the inside into turn 1, but Hamilton seems to be holding up Ricciardo for some strange reason, so Hamilton goes through, we go past Hamilton, Massa comes storming up our inside, Ricciardo is Ricciardo's in the middle of the track, we have to slow down, Massa comes lunging through, we try and dive right in the middle of everyone, we make contact with Massa, Ricciardo goes right around the outside of all of us, a bit of a crazy move, I don't know what happened to Hamilton, I think he's got damage somewhere, I didn't see on the replays what happened to him, but we've got DRS on Daniel Ricciardo, a good chance for us to try and make a move. We go for a late breaker, and unfortunately it doesn't pay off for us. We could have gone for a lunge, but we decided on a late breaker, and in hindsight it was better if we literally just dive bomb Ricciardo, because unfortunately we did not catch Ricciardo afterwards, but we definitely have some more time in this race, and Jenson Button now makes his pit stop. So remember, Button was on the Super Softs, I think, with us, so he's gone a lot longer in this Grand Prix, but it will definitely benefit us that we've gone onto these soft tyres, and now we need to start making inroads on that gap between us and Ricciardo. But we're going to have DRS then coming down towards the pit straight. We activate the DRS wide open there for us to use. Jenson Button, you can see, coming through the pit lane now, and that's how it happened. But we skipped to lap 14 of the Grand Prix. Ricciardo has definitely pulled away from us, but he's actually scrapping with Bottas up front. We break into turn 1. Bottas has gone super wide. Ricciardo's forced him wide into turn 1, and that's going to be a clean, easy move for us, and a very kind move, I would say, from Daniel Ricciardo. So Daniel, thank you very much for doing that for me, my friend. That is most kind of you. A free position, and Bottas is now out of the way. So a great job for us there. P6 now in this race, and we just need to keep it going, keep the pace on. But of course Bottas is in the Williams, and the Williams we know are super fast in a straight line, and he's on the super soft tyres, I'm on the soft tyres, so Bottas will probably be about half a second a lap quicker than us throughout the entirety of the lap. We skip ahead to lap 15 of the Grand Prix though, and Bottas, or now lap 16, but Bottas has got DRS. He goes to the right hand side of the circuit, he definitely gets the position done. We brake super late going into turn 1, we just about hang it on and get around the outside of Valtteri Bottas, so a good move from us. But Danny Kvyat now thinks it's time for him to play. But we skip ahead now to the last lap of the Grand Prix. Danny Kvyat actually got in front of Valtteri Bottas, so Bottas has dropped back down. His tyres are definitely worn out, but Kvyat, I think, is on a 2-stopper here, and he's on ultra soft tyres, and I'm on worn super soft tyres. So if his ultra soft tyres is fresher than mine, he should be at least a second quicker, so we definitely need to watch out for that. We come through the DRS zone though, down this long straight. You can see Kvyat closing on us, the proximity arrow coming in there, but Kvyat is not close enough. Down into turn 3, we've maintained position ahead of Danny Kvyat, but it's not over yet. You can see him closing, and in this middle sector, this is our weakest sector, so Kvyat can do anything he wants down into this middle sector. If we brake hard going into the left-hander, you can see the understeer on the car. It's going to affect our entrance into this right-hander. Max Verstappen comes through and wins the Austrian Grand Prix, but we got focus on Kvyat. He goes to the right-hand side of the circuit. He's going to make a late braking move down into turn 8, I think this is, or turn 7, which one it is. We go super wide on the exit, brake down into the final corner. Kvyat right behind us. We come towards the checkered flag. We started 16th, and we're going to finish 6th in the Austrian Grand Prix. A decent result for us. I definitely felt we could have been faster if we got the setup right. We didn't quite get the setup right though, and we had to deal with 6th place, but I'm not complaining about that. Christian Horner extremely happy, and that's a win for Max Verstappen and a win for Red Bull. There he is there, the young Dutchman, who's had a lot of criticism in real life for his driving, and I'm one to criticise his driving, but in this game and in this race, he has had a magnificent drive. Wins the race here in Austria, and the Red Bull mechanics celebrating. There's Felipe Massa finishing in a lonely 13th place, so a bad result there for Williams, but it's a good result for McLaren as we try and look to keep our place ahead of the Williams in the Constructors' Championship. So Verstappen won the race ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, ahead of Nico Rosberg, I believe. So Mercedes starting to slip down the order a little bit, not picking up as many wins as they really should be. Yeah, that's... Is this the start of the Mercedes dominance being wiped out, should we say? But Verstappen there celebrating with the champagne. Raikkonen trying to get in on the action. He gets rejected, and then all of a sudden he starts crying, and Verstappen's like, all right, I'll celebrate with you. And yeah, that's the full race completed. If you did join the race, remember to leave a like. That'd be absolutely awesome. But if we have a look at the order there, Rosberg leads the championship. Hamilton in second. Raikkonen third. Verstappen now up into fourth in the championship. Thanks to his win, he actually pushes us down the order. So we dropped to seventh in the standings, which is a little bit frustrating. But you can see my teammate there, Jenson Button, quite far down the order, so he definitely needs to start scoring some more points, or Williams, our closest challenger, will start to catch us up. But there's the constructor standings. Mercedes out in front from Ferrari, from Red Bull, from us ourselves. And that's going to be it then for this Austrian Grand Prix for this weekend. The next Grand Prix is going to be in Silverstone. So we have the resource points here, 25, 25, 50, 24, and 12 gives us 550 resource points. And then we go towards some more resource points here, and we are now up to 597 resource points. And the rivalry with Rosberg is just going to increase. There it is, just shoots up. We don't care. We're never going to beat Rosberg in this season. But as you can see, we managed to get ourselves back up to the best possible point in the drivers' thing. But that's it for Austria. Hope you guys did enjoy this Grand Prix. There's no upgrades coming for Britain, so we're going to be staying with the system we have now. Until then, guys, I'll see you for another episode of the F1 2016 Career Mode. Take care. Peace.